Okay, welcome Ben High to the BSH Brief. I'm your host, Caden Friess, and today we're kicking things off with a teacher who's just as comfortable with beakers as he is with baseballs. It's Mr. Clair. And joining us on our left is two awesome fellow students. Why don't you introduce yourselves?
I'm Caleb Harris, a senior at Ben High.
And I'm Will Goodman. I'm also a senior at Ben High.
Mr. Clair, let's just talk a little bit about you. Who are you, the man behind you, the name?
Yeah. My name is Quinn Clair. I'm a 2006 graduate from Ben High, and I kind of always lead with that because this is like my favorite place in the world is to be here. This is my dream job, was to be at Ben High, and part of that was just the people who had impact on me. And then, you know, my dad was a 1984 graduate. A bunch of aunts and uncles went here, and I just kind of grew up with the bear claw, always wearing it, always repping it, and very, very proud of it still today. And so just feel fortunate to be here and to try and provide that same experience for the kids who are coming through here now. I am also a coach here, been coaching for a long time, football and baseball, just baseball now. And I really, really love all sports. And so I encourage pretty much everybody to get into sports. I think that competition brings out the best in you. You know, whether it's like you get to see the way that you act negatively and you can fix that, or you're like, oh, wow, that was amazing. I didn't know that I had that in me. And so I really encourage people, regardless of what it is, to compete. I mean, it could be anything from, you know, joining the wrestling team or the baseball team or playing rock, paper, scissors consistently to do the dishes or whatever. But I just think that it's the best thing out there is competition to bring out your best self. I love to hunt and I love to play golf. So I grew up doing those two things a bunch. I archery hunt for elk with my dad and brother specifically. And, man, it's just like a soul-filling time. And people talk about, you know, going to church and you know, really feeling close to, you know, God or close to nature or whatever. And I find that out there. And so just I really fight for my time out there to be in the woods and hunt with my brother and dad. It's just, you know, probably my second favorite place to be outside of Ben High. And then I think the thing I'm proudest of is that I'm a husband and a father. And my 2.5-year-old son, Hayes, he just surprises me every single day. And I didn't realize that the joy that it was going to bring to me in my life. And I just love being a dad. And then obviously want to be the best husband I can too. And we can talk about that later when we talk about my purpose.
Absolutely. I love that. You said you graduated in 2006. I don't know about you, gentlemen, but that was when I was born. Yeah. So you've been out of high school our entire lives, essentially.
Still young, though.
Still young. You keep it young. You look young.
That's
I don't
right.
know if anyone tells you that.
That's right. When I shave, I think I look like a student. So
You come down about 5 years.
Yep, I keep that
Maybe,
shadow on.
Maybe 15, maybe 10, who knows.
A lot. Speaking of shaving, you just shaved your head for the Sparrow Assembly.
Yeah, anything for the kids. I actually forgot to tell my wife on this one, so I did. We were at dinner with some friends, and I took my hat off, and she was like, what in the world? Dude, you shaved your head. I was like, oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. It actually was the easiest one because I think last year I think I just shaved it, in the year before I got the Friar Tuck. Will shaved that one.
Yeah, I did do that.
Were you jealous you didn't get to shave my head this year?
No, I'm glad I don't have the clippers anymore.
Nah, dude, you got skills, man.
I liked how Kai was shouting out the business as he did it.
Yes, he was.
Shouting out his handle.
Handing out business cards.
Always promoting.
Yeah, he's good.
I love that. Why don't you tell us a little about your classes? Why not? You teach a lot of different classes. Which classes? Can you remind us?
Yeah, so I came in. I actually got the job here at Ben High as a chemistry teacher, and I had only taken like 2 trimesters of chemistry in college, and so it was not my focus. And I just got the job, and initially I was like, dude, I'm just going to teach this for a year and then get out and do something else. And I was so wrong. I totally fell in love. I just think it's the coolest subject ever. And so I feel fortunate to do that. And then my ultimate goal was to be an anatomy teacher, to follow in the footsteps of Brett Bailey, who did it for 37 years or something here, and when he left, I took over, and I'm not as good as he was. He was just amazing, but I'm always trying to get better and teach that class grade. It's amazing. We dissect cats, and that can be a pretty polarizing thing for people. And anyway, once you get over it, it's probably the coolest thing you'll ever do in a high school classroom is get to do that. And so I feel fortunate to teach that. And then this year is my first year teaching biology, and that's freshman biology. And I was very apprehensive at the beginning of the year to teach freshmen. And, man, they've been so awesome. And so I, again, feel fortunate to do that. And I just feel like whatever gets put in front of me, I could teach it. I'll go learn how to do it and teach whatever. And so this year I have 3 preps, and that's challenging, but I'm having a great time.
Let's be honest, do the S-Hall teachers have some disdain for you from the smell? Because I know personally, I know when you're dissecting cats just by the aroma in S-Hall. It's intense.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of jokes, especially because the foods room's right there. So when you get the combo of, like, the cinnamon roll and then the cat smell, oh, that's tough for sure. But anyway, our ducting system is now fantastic here.
Bad.
And so
It's bad.
no, it's good now. It's gone. It used to stay for the whole day. Now it's gone in like
I feel like it still does.
an hour. Oh, you can still they just duct it to the rest of the school. My classroom smells great.
Send it away.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. What about, here's a question I've been wondering. What's one of the craziest things you've allowed a student to do for extra credit? Either you offer to them or they came to you.
Yeah, sure. So I typically don't do extra credit, but I do love, one of my questions that I'll have for you guys at the end, just to hear your thoughts, is I do love when kids get involved outside of the classroom. And so sometimes I'll give extra credit for maybe like dressing up and going to an event and taking a picture. In particular, I feel like school dances have fallen off, and that is like a total bummer to me because I just have some really cherished memories of going to dances, just all the things, whether it was, being super awkward at the dinner or having to ask someone and it being embarrassing or actually getting rejected. Hey, yeah, I did get rejected one time. It broke my heart. I still think about it.
What grade level?
I was a sophomore, and she was also a sophomore. She said yes at first, and then a couple days later, she said, no, I'm going with someone else. So I'll just tell you that I have recovered, and you do recover from those things.
You got a wife and kids.
But exactly, man. Thank you. But yeah, it was. I can remember it was a big deal time, and I was pretty pissed off about it. And anyway, it sucks to look bad and fail like that, but man, everything's a learning moment. So
Did you recover? Did you get a different date?
I didn't get a different date, but I danced really hard.
Boom.
So
I bet that showed.
I am sure that she was jealous.
Did you hit a little dirty dancing? Maybe?
Yeah, always. As soon as that circle opens up, we're going.
You're going into the circle?
Oh, yeah.
You're
man.
one of those?
Yeah, can we talk about weddings for a second?
Please.
Okay.
Like Wedding Crashers?
Yeah, a little bit like that. So my wife and I, we got invited to, in one summer, we got invited to 11 weddings.
Whoa.
And a couple of them were like really great friends, but then there were some where I was like, dude, I don't really know this person that great. And my wife didn't either. And so I was like curious to why I was getting invited. And they had been at a couple other weddings and said, this person brings the party.
Mm-hmm.
We should invite him. Like, we know him well enough he can come. And so I will tell you that when I found that out, I stopped dancing as hard because I was, I don't know. I was like, I felt jaded. I was jaded for sure. But anyway, I do love to dance, and I do love to get in the circle. And honestly, if TikTok was around when I was in high school, I would probably be a billionaire.
You would have dominated easily.
Everybody says that, but no,
You have
I
the
don't know.
personality for it.
I'm thankful that that stuff was not around. I just will say that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big TikTok guy. I feel like me and Will were planning this thing. Like, we have to dance for the pageant. I'm not a huge dancer, I don't know. What do you think, Will?
It looks great though. Yeah, we look good.
But what's the hold up? Like, what's holding you back?
I mean, Probably just what we're doing is holding me back a little bit.
Probably some skill too, but
A little skill
little
issue.
okay.
Yeah.
I know Iris. She's always telling that she's at pageant practice. Seems
Iris.
like every day.
Nah, she's killing it. She's killing it.
How often are you doing the pageant practice? That sounded confident. I
I mean, like twice a week. We got Mondays, Sundays. So, and then I think this week we got Wednesday, Thursday to prepare for the final event. But
yeah, we've got one practice under our belt for.
yeah, everyone was planning their like talents like 3 weeks ahead of time. Me and Will just started yesterday.
do you want to give a sneak peek on what your talent is?
I
I
feel like
mean,
that's a surprise.
I'm just
I
gonna
don't-
tell you the hips don't lie. That's all I'm gonna put out there.
Oh, let's go.
I
Love
am
it,
ready.
dude.
I am ready.
Yeah.
I would just say, just don't care what other people think and just go 100. And anyway, that's
I feel like,
how I approach.
I feel like we would say that we did that pretty well with the songs and everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't wait to
We
see.
have to be bought in. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to buy in. If you don't, it's, oh man, people are like, oh, this is.
It's
What do they say now? It's cringe.
cringe. Yeah. I think
True,
That's
Yeah.
exactly what they
They're
say.
gonna say that. In the back in the day, they used to say like, oh man, this is bad.
Not a chance. Not a chance. It's gonna be cringe. No way.
I believe in you. I can't wait.
Let's go.
Be good.
Well, I think it's might as well we talk about baseball. Will, Caleb, you both are varsity baseball players, and Mr. Clair, you obviously coach. So I think this is a very subject I'm not exactly knowledgeable in, but you three are gonna hit it down. So, Mr. Clair, do you want to just jump in, tell us about the team, tell us about how you coach a little bit, and then we'll give some input, advice, thoughts. Advice, not advice. I'm not trying to coach for you.
No, I'm. That's the thing is, I was just about to say that, as I progressed through my coaching career, I feel I continue to get better and continue to focus on the things that are important. And it's super easy to get caught up in like, okay, this coach has a lot of wins, and I want to be this coach. And then when you're not winning, you start to get really frustrated. And so I think that was my focus for the first couple of years that I was the head coach. The first year it was pretty easy. We had a really, really good team, and they just, balled out. And then it got harder, and so we didn't win as many games, and the focus needed to shift from winning and losing to, okay, how am I getting better? How am I progressing? And, like how hard am I practicing? And so that's kind of been the focus as we put focus on the process of, working on a certain skill. And, right now we're reading a book with our team called Pound the Stone. And basically the mantra is, you're just going to continue to hit the stone. So how do we relate that to practice? You're going to continue to practice pitching, practice hitting, practice fielding ground balls, practice your mental game, and you're just going to practice until that stone splits. And so that's kind of the focus that I feel like I have like lasered in on. And then, one of the things that's been around in our school for a long time is something called total release, or TR. And in our program, we have the TR player of the day. And there's other programs here we're doing this, but I truly believe that if you focus on total release and TR, that, man, your heart is so full, or it's not. And you got to get back to the drawing board and practice really hard. And so, total release to me is at the end of the day, am I satisfied with my performance based upon how good of a teammate I was, how tired I am, how well I responded to failure, regardless of what the scoreboard says. And, am I perfect? No. Like, that's not the expectation. But the expectation is perfect effort and progress and just this, like, mindset of learning. And what's really cool is this team this year, the 2025 team, is, in my opinion, fully bought. And they speak in the language that we have been trying to get the kids to speak in, and they celebrate the right things, and they're just great teammates to one another. And so if I had to say, like, I think I said last year was my favorite year coaching, just with all the ups and downs and the growth. It was just really cool. And then I feel like we've kind of surpassed last year just with how I feel about the team, and this has been my favorite year up to this point.
That's amazing. What can you guys chime in about his coaching style or just the game in general?
Q's coaching style, definitely a lot of energy, right? And that's like
Yeah.
that's awesome to have in the dugout and on the field too. So
I think I would have. I think if I could wish one thing, it'd just be that I had it for 4 years, not 3. You know.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
We missed you, dude.
I know.
We're glad you're back.
Made a bad decision, but
All right.
Last year, did you decide to stop?
yeah, I quit to do nothing. It's like stupid. And then I
Yep.
came back.
We all make mistakes. It's okay. It's okay. No one blames you.
Yeah, but to speak on him, like he's been nothing but fantastic. Skill wise might be a little bit behind, but is like, starting to figure some stuff out and is really just a great human being. So I was hesitant to take him back at the beginning of the year, and man, I'm proud I did, or I'm glad I did. Yeah. So we're glad you're part of the team, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
You're amazing.
Is there any standout moments from this year, whether it's a game win or just a moment on a teammate level?
Goo. I got 2.
Here, let's hear yours.
I don't want to steal yours though.
No, you go first.
Okay, so we're in Arizona. We go down to Arizona. We play 5 games down there, and we play a game a day for 5 days. And you get to that 5th day and you're tired, and we show up to the field and it's been hot all week, and we've had some teams just totally tank down there on that 5th day. Last year was just a terrible day for us on the 5th day, and we show up to the yard and we're preparing really well. I hear kids' enthusiasm. I'm kind of going, okay, let's see what happens here. And then the other team shows up, and, I'm trying to always keep the noise inside instead of focusing on outside noise. But, it's hard to do sometimes. And I'm looking at this other team. I'm like, dude, they passed the eye test. These guys are huge. They're moving well. They're walking around like they got it figured out. And, we start the first inning, and Will gets up. He's our leadoff hitter, and he sees the first pitch fastball and hits a home run to the opposite field. And we ended up scoring 5 in that inning with another home run from Fisher Barber. But just to be able to punch like that right from the get-go on day 5, against a team that you could look at and say, man, these guys could be good, that's big stuff. And so I'm very proud of that moment. We've had a couple other moments in my coaching career where we've had that first punch on teams that, were pretty good, and we just stole the game from them based upon that. And that's what we did on that 5th day. So that's my first one. I don't want to steal the other one from you. Are we thinking about the same thing?
I'm totally blanking right now. So yeah, I'm trying to think.
I was about to say.
Yeah, what do you got?
I think Lake O.
Yeah, well, like what moment?
Oh, the bunt, dude. I think it was we kind of
Yeah,
wore him down to a
okay.
point where Lewis hits the drag bunt and pitcher makes an error. Guys on first and second, no outs, right?
No outs.
No outs. And then Marcio comes up, and he kind of he's been struggling with bunting, but then he gets in the situation, just freaking lays it down, make another error, 2-run score, boom, game over. It was perfect.
Yeah, walk off. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, I would say the best part about that too is, Lake Oswego is a perennial 6A team. They're good, man. They're good, and we're 5A school, and we like to challenge ourselves and play those teams. And in the past, we kind of geeked out about we're playing this team. They're pretty good. They're ranked whatever. They're 6A. They went far in the playoffs last year, and none of that stuff matters. And when you really figure that out, you're like, oh, it doesn't matter. We could beat anybody on any day. What they did in the past and what their credentials are have nothing to do with how we're going to compete today. And we did that the entire game. And again, that's the message. One of the messages that we're trying to send is, you got to believe in yourself, and you can beat anybody.
Yeah. I'm big on business in DECA, and I know the baseball field got taken down, and I think I saw something about you're trying to raise possibly hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yep.
What's that process like? How much is the goal? What are you doing? And how successful are we so far?
Yeah, so we are trying to. So we're getting a new field built down on 15th Street field, where the Bear Creek baseball field is at, and so instead of putting natural surface in, we are going to put turf in. And so in order to do that, we have to raise $250,000, and right now we're at about $60,000. So we're moving. We're looking for those big hitters to kind of step in and applying for some grants and stuff. So I have a lot of confidence in it. And in my opinion, this is what should be happening with our baseball fields here in Central Oregon. And most of the fields are turfed over in the valley, and that makes sense because there's a lot of rain there, but we also get rained out. And then just on the flip side of that, like, we've been fortunate enough to be doing our games and practices at Vince Ginna, and that is a turfed field. And what I will say is it maximizes our practice. We get to practice way longer, and we also don't have to worry about the field conditions as far as, like, if I want something to happen perfectly because this is what we need to practice, we can make that happen. And so to have that, I think it just elevates, our school. And then also we're hoping that all the other schools eventually get that as well. And so looking for those people to step up and make some dreams happen.
Any millionaires listen?
And yes, or
Shoot you
just
some money.
or just 100,000aires, dude. You can make it happen too. Anything helps.
Anything helps, exactly.
Yep.
I went to one of the baseball games, and I just want to comment, Mr. Clair, on you. I loved – it was really cold. I'm not going to lie. I did leave after like 25 minutes.
Yeah.
I was dying.
Yeah.
But you, on coaching third, had the most unbelievable stance. It was just the widest stance, like hands on knees, focused as can be. What – is this a conscious thing? Do you just get in the moment and you get into this stance? Because I saw it throughout the game, and it was my favorite part.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I try to be intentional about everything I do. So, if we have a runner at second, I typically kind of drop closer to the plate, which is more dangerous. And so I try and angle myself away, and then I get in that stance in case I get a ball coming at me, and I'll have to be able to duck my head and I guess protect myself. But, yeah, man, that's the power stance right there. I feel like I can pop out of that and do whatever needs to happen.
Powerful.
Yeah, thanks.
I love that. I mean, do you have any final notes on baseball? Anyone?
I just like it when he drops down and to tell someone to
Yeah,
slide.
get down. Yeah.
First game of the year when I saw it with Spencer, I was like, oh, shoot. And then he pushed up. I was like, oh, that's tough.
Yeah. Are you having more fun coaching third this year? I feel like we've
Oh,
been
yeah,
hitting
yeah.
a little bit better. And
Yeah, I feel like we're getting more guys there, too.
yeah.
Yeah, we've scored a lot more runs this year, and man, that's the objective of the game, and that's what makes it fun is scoring runs. And so, yeah, I have been having a blast for sure. Yeah. We need to work. Cash missed me on a home run on this high five, so we need to work on our high fives on home runs.
I love it. All right. I think you should flip it on us a little bit. If you have any questions, want to grill us on anything, especially year two.
Yeah.
Students/players.
Yeah, sure. So I have two thoughts here, and one of them has to do with like getting involved outside of school, and then the other one is about the dreaded topic of cell phones. But I am curious, interested. So the first question that I have is why. I feel like every time I mention a dance at our school in my classroom, I'm like, hey, you guys going? And then I get this response of like, no, we're not going to the dance. And I feel like, what the heck is going on? So I try and pump it up. But I just want to hear from your perspective, like, why aren't we getting people at the dances? Why is this not something that, everybody should be super jacked about? And it's like these – I don't know, when you think of high school, that's like one of the moments that's huge in being a high schooler and that. And from my perspective, like, it's just good practice for a lot of stuff, man. And that's what this is all about, is like just practicing and put yourself out there. So I don't know. What do you guys think about dances?
Yeah, I feel like people get a little bit nervous about them. Like, I feel like kids might be more awkward now than they used to be too. And high school dances are already awkward as they are.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like that also is about like cell phones and all that too. It's definitely made kids feel a little bit weirder about social settings maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I think it's just the fact that, like, we can find we kind of find, like, other stuff to do a lot more. Like, there's a lot more, like, ways to, like, be like, let me go kind of, like, over here do this, or, like, over here do this. 'Cause, like, a Friday night is, like, the busiest night of the week. I think that's a song or something. But I think that's one reason.
Okay.
I think I struggle with the dancing even. Like, I'm personally, I like to dance, but you're in the mindset of, well, no one else is dancing. I'm not going to be the first person to dance. Once a couple start going, and then things really start to go. Also, kind of sad, music. I remember one year, didn't our DJ Flake and Cooper found like some guy off the street who was Spotifying off his phone?
Oh, that was
no hate
bad.
to Mr. Cooper. You know, you got to do what you got to do. But that was a bit of a rough year.
Yeah. I think the music helps for sure. And I'm not really sure what the protocol is on what tunes you guys can listen to. But
Yeah.
Like
what I will say is
everything.
I would be a Spotify like queue guy. You know, oh, that one's in the queue, that one's in the queue. But I can get some bangers
You can
going.
get some bangers.
All right.
Are you saying you want to DJ this year? Is that what I'm hearing?
I will say that I have been a wedding DJ for 2 weddings.
Just run up prom.
So
Be like a business.
I'm just putting it out there
Save
that
money.
I will do that, but it will be from my Spotify queue. I do pay for premium, so there will be no ads.
Let's go.
Make it happen.
And I probably will have to get some like songs okayed,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that matters.
Yeah, what's the first song?
Probably Lil Jon, the East Side Boys, Get Low.
Yeah.
You know, that's I mean, that's I hate to say this, but like one of the first songs my son listened to when he was born. I just feel like it's got just this beat that makes you just like dance.
Makes you dance.
So that one.
Even more just going on your question, I think it's kind of this mentality that's been built up of like always thinking of what other people are thinking about you, whether it's here in the halls, but
definitely.
especially at dances. It's like what you're wearing, how are you dancing? It's like you see people who are almost like they're too cool for a dance. Like they show up, they sit in the corner on their phone. Everyone is complaining. Every dance I've been to, it's this dance sucks, the venue sucks, the music sucks. No one is satisfied. And I mean, it's not Coachella. I don't know what you're expecting. It's a school dance. And I think you just kind of have to be content with that. I very much am, and I enjoy them personally. But I think it's just kind of the new generation. It's kind of just where we're at. And I don't know what the fix is, honestly.
All right. Well, if I was like just to give some feedback from what I've heard here is it sounds like the cell phone is an issue.
I would agree. I think,
And
yeah.
you know, that was my next question was on cell phone stuff. But okay, so how do we fix this where people feel comfortable like letting loose a little bit, right? And you know, like going to a dance and just enjoying the moment.
I mean, I feel like I don't really have a problem with that, but I feel like me, when I'm like I think it's also like a parent thing. Like when I'm a kid, I'm not like, a parent, I'm not giving my kids a phone until they're like 15, bro.
Oh,
So,
dude.
I think that
I'm
ruined
thinking
people,
College,
like-
man.
Yeah, probably
College?
definitely no social media. I don't think that's good.
I think like
Oh, that's mature, you guys. I love to hear that.
I mean, I'm sure no one's like agrees with us, but like
Yeah,
me
I feel like
personally,
you're asking the wrong group because
Yeah.
me and Caleb both don't
Yeah.
have social media right now. So
Yeah.
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 I bet there's more than you think, but sometimes it's just hard to make that move. I think you need to have like a coat check, but a
I
cell
was just
phone
going to
check.
suggest that. Really be in the moment.
With a caddy, you get your ticket, right? When you're done, you get to give your phone back, or you get the ticket, get your phone back. I don't know. I'm just
I second that.
what I would say is my heart would be full if we got those dances popping.
Yeah. Well,
What dances are left? Just prom?
Prom, yeah.
yeah.
Prom.
Yeah. And I feel like people
Oh.
get less dates now too. I don't know. I feel like it's
Yeah, it's a lot of single people.
Less Riz,
Well-
I think, from
well,
what I can see.
yeah, we don't do well there. But
Yeah, wrong. I mean, you're asking the wrong guy right now.
yeah, we don't have like a formal homecoming, right? So there's no dates there, or there is dates, but I feel
Yeah, I
like it's a
get
little
you.
bit more awkward. And then prom, everyone got to get a prom date, and
Yeah. If you don't-
that could also be awkward too. So I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause my
I
thing,
love the awkward.
I mean, it's just awkward when you have to be like, yo, I don't have a prom date. So you got to ask like one of your close friends. And it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to take a chance here and just ask somebody to prom? Go.
Oh, this would be a good promposal, but yeah, no, not right here though.
Yeah, I mean,
Come on,
I'll
go.
prep the next guest.
this is like a kind of an inside joke if anyone knows, 1 for 16, trying to go 2 for 17.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I'm the same boat here actually. So
I don't get it.
Couldn't tell you. But maybe you have some input on your generation, Mr. Clair. What I would say personally is what dances now, I think it's like the couples go. And if you're not in a couple, you go with a friend group or by yourself. I don't think we've kind of eliminated the just asking people you like flat out.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
feels like we've established there needs to be something before,
Got
which
it.
from what I've seen in movies is what your generation did. You just went for it. Tell me
Yeah.
if that's right or wrong.
No, I think you're right. I mean, I was always trying to ask somebody to the dance. Or, we had Sadie Hawkins, which was the other way around. And so, you're playing that game of trying to get a date. And, I told you earlier, like sometimes you get rejected. And I still think it's cool to go with your friends. But what I will say is that it's practice, man. Like eventually down the road, if you choose to do this, like you're going to try and find a significant other, and this is practice for that. And so being able to ask somebody and then also like get rejected and then be able to bounce back from that is, man, that's just part of life. And so ask them. Like
Just ask them.
Just ask them, dude. If you're hesitant about it, just do it. And if they shut you down, they shut you down. And I think that's easier said than done, obviously with social media stuff. But I don't know. It's sad. I just want you guys to put yourself out there, and it makes you better.
I love that advice.
I mean, yeah, no one wants to get rejected, but I feel like you kind of need to. It's humbling.
It's part of life.
Oh.
Then once you're at the bottom and then you
sure.
get accepted, you're like, oh my gosh, you're sky high again.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's fine.
Let's go.
All right. Well, finally, Mr. Clair, these are the questions that students really want to ask. So
Okay.
much so that they submitted them to us. We each got a couple questions that we're going to hit you with.
Okay.
I'll start off with a couple. Paige asks you, what's your favorite class to teach?
My favorite class is chemistry, actually. It is cool, man. So many things that they learn by the end. You have this stuff that you're writing down that at the beginning you would think is a foreign language. And so we joke around. It's not really a joke, but we call it chemistry and I just think it's cool. I love chemistry.
I love it. Whoever Zerkium is asks, if you had $1 million, how did you get it?
Actually, I think about this all the time. I probably won the lottery. All right. And have I ever put in for a lottery ticket? The answer is no. But I'm like, if I won, this is what I would do with this money. So I probably won the lottery because I'm probably not going to be a millionaire as a teacher.
Fair. Addie Hayes asks, do you have any crazy staff party stories? This is the question I was most excited about.
Yeah. I don't know if actually, I do have one. So we had the staff party. It was a cook-off. And one of our teachers' name was Scott Novelli, Mr. Novelli. He's at Culver High School now, but he was making something called cowboy caviar. And what it was is rolled up ground beef, and then he rolled it in crushed up nachos and bacon, and then put it on the barbecue, and the whole barbecue lit on fire, and there was a lava bear flag that burnt down and started burning part of the deck. And so anyway, that was probably the craziest moment.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. And then finally, this was on the spot just before filming this. Mr. Fox asks, who would win in a foot race, you or him?
Oh, we know the answer to that.
we?
You
Do we?
guys, okay, Mr. Fox would blow me out of the water, but if he ever stopped, I would catch him and I would wrestle him, and he would not win that.
I can see that happening. Caleb, take us away with a few.
If the speed limit's 25, how fast are you driving?
I'm going 25 to 30.
All right.
Is that a bad example? I don't
It's
know.
an honest one.
But I am, yeah. I will say that my grandpa and my dad go 15 to 20 in a 25, and it's just something that bugs me. So I go 25 to 30.
I can attest. I can agree.
I'd probably go a little faster than that, I feel like.
Keep it under 30.
What's your favorite T Swift song?
Right now it's Willow. All right, tell B that it's Willow. Okay, I see that B asked that question. All right, but before Willow, it was Our Song and Teardrops on My Guitar. So some of her original stuff.
It's like her country
Nice.
stuff.
I do
That's
love Taylor
nice.
Swift. We share the same birthday, and December 13th, and I don't have any of the friendship wristbands, but I do listen to her songs. She's always on my Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year, and my wife loves her too. So yeah, we get it.
Favorite grocery store?
I don't actually. I love Costco, man. I go in there for no reason and end up spending $200, and we didn't need to go in there, but I think it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, I like chicken bakes.
All right, well, Lava Bear Football wants to know what makes being a Lava Bear so special.
Yeah, I think I kind of touched on this at the beginning, but our school's over 120 years old. and we just have a ton of tradition. And what I'll say is there's always people watching. And so, there's somebody who we have people from the class of 1968, 1970 who are giving back to our baseball program just because they love Ben High and they love their experience. And I will just say that the people here in this building are special and fantastic. And we actually work really hard to make sure that we get special and fantastic people who are going to, build young people into their best selves.
Nice. Abby Smith wants to know if you could teach any subject besides chemistry, what would it be?
I don't know.
Don't know.
Science, probably science.
Basketball class.
Oh, yeah, sure. PE, basketball, weights. Oh, definitely.
Even jump off of that, if you could switch places with a teacher for one day, who would you pick?
Okay, I would probably pick. I need some perspective, so I would probably pick an IB teacher because they are amazing, man. They grade so much. They teach at such a high level that sometimes I complain. I'm like, dang, I got a lot to do, and I pale in comparison to those IB teachers. So shout out IB teachers. Would I love to be in your position for one day? Yes, but no. Anyway, they're amazing.
Was IB around when you were in school here?
Nope, we had AP. Yeah, everything was AP.
Wait, you're telling me? Wow, that makes me feel some type of way. They always tell us about how IB is the best, and we used to do AP. It's like little.
IB is the best.
Oh.
All right. Well,
Were you paid to say that? I'm just kidding.
No, IB is way better than AP.
All right. This is a weird question. I just thought of this when we were talking about you racing Mr. Fox.
Yeah.
If we don't raise enough money for this baseball field, would you go fight a UFC match to raise enough money for us? This is a similar storyline to Here Comes the Boom with Kevin James. If you guys have seen this.
I would do that for sure. Yeah. I would do a lot for Ben High.
Yeah.
Do you have any fighters in mind?
Who'd you fight?
Who we got? Who's the baddest?
John Jones.
John Jones. I'd fight John Jones.
Oh, that's dirty. You're
I
gonna
just
lose.
let it ride.
John Jones, if you're listening,
Yeah,
you
your
gotta
knee
get a
kicked
fight.
in.
250K per second that I make it.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Fair.
Because I think I'm going out in 5 to 10. But
Seconds?
I'm just saying, But I'm just saying that. So we're going to need to make sure that it's 250K per second.
Awesome.
I can run around for a minute.
I mean, that's not. He's a heavyweight.
And then he'll close in.
Yeah,
Just run around.
dang.
All right. Well, I think that's all for the first episode of the BSH Brief. Wow. Big thanks to Mr. Clair for being our incredible guest faculty today, and big thank you to Caleb and Will for being our amazing student guests. I think the bar has been set very, very high, gentlemen.
Sweet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fun.
thanks for
Nice.
having me.
Yeah,
That was
thank you.
awesome. Good job.
All right. Until next time, stay curious, stay loud, and stay brief, Ben High.
Amen.
Fellas.
That's
a wrap.
Ooh.
Wow.
You did
Sweet.
good, man.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
That was
you did a
awesome.
good job.